Remember doublespeak, the Orwellian idea from the book 1984, that the government can tell you black is white, up is down, and if you don't agree, you're the problem. Well, welcome to 2025, where a former Republican senator, now Vice President JD Vance, went on Fox News to claim that Trump's tariffs are fighting inflation. But then he admits, yes, they will raise prices, but they are also fighting inflation. Let's look at the clip from Fox and Friends yesterday morning.
I also know people that come from our background, they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Of course.
And they want to do the patriotic duty of taking it to these other countries, but it's going to hit them a little bit. They feel. What can you tell the American people that they just can't afford an extra $3 here and there about the government making up the difference from that? Will costs go up at some point? Will this just be temporary? Are we talking 3 months or 6 months?
Well, we certainly hear, and I appreciate, how I grew up.
I know.
I grew up in a family that often did live paycheck to paycheck.
By the way, even this origin story from JD Vance is completely exaggerated. It's been debunked now. Every layer of these people is a lie, but I don't want to derail because we're focused on the tariffs here.
And we know a lot of Americans are worried, so we are fighting very hard to bring prices down. We're going to have the biggest deregulation in the history of this country. We're doing a lot of things and already have done a lot of things to lower the cost of energy. You heard the president mention this yesterday. Eggs, when we came in, were at a 10-year high, and all of a sudden they've dropped 60% just in the 2 months of the Trump administration. What I'd ask folks to appreciate here is that we are not going to fix things overnight. Joe Biden left us, this is not an exaggeration, Lawrence, with the largest peacetime debt and deficit in the history of the United States of America, with sky-high interest rates. You don't fix that stuff overnight. We know people are struggling. We're fighting as quickly as we can to fix what was left to us, but it's not going to happen immediately. But we really do believe that if we pursue the right deregulation, we pursue those energy cost-reducing policies, yes, people are going to see it in their pocketbook. They're also going to benefit from the fact that foreign countries can't take advantage of us anymore. That means their jobs are going to be more secure.
So there's one little mention of we're getting inflation down. And then it's going to take a while. This isn't going to happen right away. Over the long term, people are going to see. So the translation here is prices are actually going to go up. But just trust us. This is part of the plan to eventually make prices go down. Theoretically, possible. Does any economist expect that to happen? No. We're officially now in war is peace territory. It's 1984 with a red tie, or I guess in this case, JD is wearing a blue tie. Tariffs are taxes. They make things more expensive. That's not an opinion. That's how math works. Now, you might say it's worth it. It's justified. There's a long-term goal, but tariffs are a type of tax. Trump's tariff plan is a national sales tax. When you just say tariff everything coming in, it's a national sales tax disguised as patriotism. And JD Vance is here to tell you when your grocery bill goes up or whatever, it's the invisible hand of freedom at work. And over the long term, you're going to do great. And they probably also are calculating that if they say this enough and confidently enough and over and over and over again, a lot of people are going to start to believe it. Because that's how modern authoritarianism works. It's not about censorship. It's about flooding the zone with contradiction until people stop trying to make any sense of it at all and just kind of stop paying attention. This is the Republican strategy, deliberate confusion. Say the tariffs will lower prices even as prices go up and say, no, that's part of the plan. They will eventually lower prices. Say we're going to punish China even when you're really punishing American consumers. Say it's temporary, even though they haven't explained what will end this. Keep talking until no one remembers what reality was to begin with. Now, in 1984, George Orwell warned us about this exact tactic. And now it's happening on live television, wrapped in an American flag with a MAGA hat and served with a side of Buy American, even though that doesn't really account for everything getting more expensive. If they can convince people that raising prices is actually lowering them, they can get away with anything. Here's a bonus clip. Here is JD Vance claiming 40% of people who call Social Security's hotlines are committing fraud. The source is Trust me, bro.
First of all, that report I saw was total fake news. Elon came in and we said, we need you to make government more efficient. We need you to shrink the incredible, vast bureaucracy that thwarts the will of the American people, but also costs way too much money. And we said that's going to take about 6 months. And that's what Elon signed up for. But of course, he's going to continue to be an advisor. And by the way, the work of Doge is not even close to done. The work of Elon is not even close to done. You look at all of the fraudulent grants that they found. You look at people who are 150 years old, who are fraudulently collecting Social Security payments. You see our Social Security system, 40% of the people who are calling in are actually committing fraud. That means the 60% who need their Social Security checks are waiting in line. Doge has got a lot of work to do. And yeah, that work's going to continue after Elon leaves. But fundamentally, Elon is going to remain a friend and an advisor of both me and the president. And he's done a lot of good things.
That was 59 seconds. I think there's 14 or 15 lies in there. And of course, providing zero justification for the claim that 40% of those calling Social Security's hotline numbers are committing fraud. Remember, also, fraud is a crime. Can we expect the indictments and the prosecutions to start soon? This is a dystopian nightmare. I really hope, for everyone else's sake, that not that many people are falling for this crap. I worry that they are, but I hope that they are not. Remember to get on our newsletter. It is the only platform on which we own our data. I will have no means to get in touch with you if we are shut down on any of our other platforms. And so this is why we're working to build our newsletter. You can find it at davidpakman.substack.com. Or you can just email info@davidpakman.com and say, hey, David, put me on the newsletter. If YouTube shuts us down, the 3 million subscribers, we have no way of contacting anybody. So you can reply directly to the newsletter. I get those messages. It's the most direct way to remain in touch with us. Appreciate everybody who's been signing up. It's free. I'm selling you nothing other than a good time. We'll take a quick break and be back with more. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.